why Disney's AI lawsuit will determine whether studios survive. There's a story. I'll bring it up for you. I think you have the notes, but this is from the Hollywood Reporter. I'll bring up the story. This is huge. This is huge, Alan.
All right. So
let me bring it up on screen. Okay. Go ahead.
Here,
if you would.
Do I need to remove? There you go. All right. Well, it finally happened. Disney and Universal have joined the legal fight against generative AI, suing image generator Midjourney for allegedly stealing their characters to train its models. After months of watching other media companies either cut deals or stay quiet, Hollywood's big dogs are stepping in, accusing Midjourney of straight-up plagiarism for churning out Shrek and Yoda-like content. It feels like the first real cannon blast in what's shaping up to be a long, messy war between old-school entertainment empires and the rise of AI-generated content. And let's be honest, this move was a long time coming. But the lawsuit isn't about one AI company or a few character likenesses. It's about whether the whole idea of the traditional Hollywood studio can survive in a world where anyone can generate movie-style content from their laptop. If the studio win, they will hold their creative turf. If they lose or settle, they risk becoming more than IP landlords, still making money, but not really making movies anymore. The irony, studios want to use AI too, just not if it's trained on their stuff. So we're in this weird catch-22 where the future of Hollywood might depend on the very tools they're trying to steal. Or they're trying to sue, sorry.
What do you think about this? Like, I think we're in trouble from this standpoint. If the studios don't get this under control and they don't find a way to license, and the thing is, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. This is where we're at.
69.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, Trump has been saying a lot about, how we need to win the AI war. Speaking almost as if we're making a nuclear weapon. Because it's the same language. You watch Oppenheimer, the same language in Oppenheimer is the same language we're using for AI. And it's hard, it's like I'm constantly being thrown back and forth in this debate because I understand how AI can be used as a tool, but then I understand that I don't want to see AI in everything. And that I still will always prefer something made by human hands versus AI. But this article brings up that the main interesting point here is that Disney would love to make all their stuff with AI. But what Disney's more concerned about is not art, but it's about money. The fact that they could make a movie like Elio super cheap without using people. In fact, it got pretty damn close, it looks like. As much as you want to kind of, I don't know. I think the best way I could say it is it's going to be interesting to see this played out in court, to see where the court and where this all lands in terms of what AI can do and then who owns what AI ultimately produces.
Well, it needs to be based on the data sets. Mm-hmm. If you've artwork and the artwork is owned by a company and or an individual, like you own your likeness. I mean, if someone's profiting, there needs to be a financial arrangement, right? Mm-hmm. Is that logical?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, but it's the battle over money and it's the battle over art. Hollywood is definitely in that battle over money and how much they're going to get from it. But they have zero concern over, AI's true place in art. And that's the frustrating part of this discussion is, no, we're just fighting over cash. You're muted. Yeah. You're muted.
Like, look, this sounds like a crazy analogy to make, but I'm just going to lay it out there. Star Trek, the universe of Star Trek, is based on our world. In the fictional universe of Star Trek, the 23rd century or 24th century if you're talking next gen. It's based on our universe. It's our future, 300, 400 years in the future. This is where we're going. At some point, and one thing, they talk about classic plays like Shakespeare and whatnot, but they don't talk about current day movies in the world of Star Trek ever. Because at some point in their past, art ended. And look, and I'm not the expert to speak about this. We'll ask Robert Meyer Burnett on Versus on Monday. But at some point in the world of Star Trek, art ended. Now, there was an appreciation for art from the past, but why would people from the 23rd century bring up Shakespeare? Maybe it's because when there was a technological revolution and things exploded in terms of tech and space exploration, maybe art died with the creation of AI. When you can make anything, does it matter? I'm asking a question. What do you think, Alan? If I can sit there and say, remake the Star Wars trilogy with Alan Ingwalker and Darth Gore and tell that story. Now, it would be terrible, but an AI could probably do it. And it's almost like what's weird is, if you could design a computer, you could design a program to make an infinite amount of music that would create every combination, every possible combination of notes. You could write all the songs. Effectively, what's the point of creating when it already is done? I'm asking a question why in the world of Star Trek are there not movies? Why don't they exist? It's because it's possible in their universe, art died and they only look at things from the past.
It's like when Barclay goes into the holodeck and makes stories up about him making out with Deanna Troi.
Well, who hasn't done?
I know. That's entertainment in Star Trek. But it's also funny that you bring up Star Trek because to me, Star Trek, even Twilight Zone, were all morality tales. It was always a look at some aspect of humanity and explored an idea, regarding racism, regarding class, whatever, even human connection, stuff like that. And the idea that you would hand that over to AI to write a story about being human just comes off unreal. And it almost it kind of, look, I'll get philosophical here, but if you're going to turn your human stories over to AI, you might as well make it your god now. I'll give you a recommendation of a movie. See Pod Generation, stars Emilia Clarke, Chiwetel Ejiofor. It's just about this. It's about the world in the not too future where everything's synthetic, where everything is created by computers, generated by computers, where now you can grow a baby within a pod. And the movie makes an argument that that we lose our humanity when we move away from nature, from the natural way of doing things. And there's a point where they go to couples therapy, and their therapist is AI, which in my mind just blew up and created this question of what is this philosophy that AI would have that would make it qualified to become a couples therapist or a therapist in general. This is, these are the things I wrestle with when I think about AI. Is it a tool, or are we ultimately just going to give ourselves up to it?